Hello, my name is Monster. You can call me Cthulha or Monster. Welcome back to my second episode of the ATM Gravitas 2 early game. Um, it is night. We won't be able to change it today for a little while. We're going to need to get a lot of wool for that. So I am going to start packing up and start moving southeast in a hunt for copper, in a hunt for more of a warm tempo, climate, that's the word. I was going to say temperature, but climate's what I'm really looking for. And yeah, it's time to start gathering some more food seeds, saplings, all those fun things. See if maybe we can find a waystone. But yeah, we're still very early game. So thank you for joining me on my first episode. And those of you who are following along or just watch me play, I think I'm really excited to see the new changes in this pack for the last 6 months. So, yeah, let's see what we get up to today. One item I have added is toggling the in-game waypoints to I think backslash for me. So that's just under your options and your controls here in the keybind. And then someone also, I believe Gamer Dragon, which I did pin in the last comments, did mention that stacking food actually has the a hotkey I, which is great. One thing I didn't mention last is we are going to want to look to be careful with traveling too close to the sea, primarily because salt water will not quench our thirst. So we can't just rely on hopeful rain. I did make a straw hat. I turned off the visibility because the straw hat has a certain charm to it, but I don't want to see it. And I have my vessel back here right now. But in the future, I am going to want a barrel so I could get some water when it rains if we are traveling. So I'm just going to keep some of the lumber in my main inventory. There's the word. All right, so southeast, that's over this way. And one last look. I see no waystone. It's okay. We're strong. We don't need a waystone. If we can get some more water, I'd be happy about that. And the other item we have is this prospecting pick. So yeah, let's actually take a look there because it's been a little bit. Oh, there's a Gravitas 2 mark here for the Greg Tech ores. This is something that when I was in their Discord, it's awesome and new, and I'm very excited. We also got, let's see here, we got ore hints and spawning. Okay, these are great hints. So items for like where saltpeter is, diamond, kaolinite. That one's a rough one. But kaolinite's much better than Gravitas 1. So if you played that one at all, oh, those of us who played that one, I think, are incredibly happy. And I do want to get into some of these advanced TFC items in the future. I will say the fleshing machine is the worst name known to man. Firmalife is one of my favorite. I think it's just so cute. maybe maybe some folks won't like that way of thinking about it, but I think it's really, really cute. Um, but let's see here. I'm looking for copper to start. So let's see here. Native copper's above 40, which means that the prospector's likely to pick it up more. Um, and by pick it up, I mean see that it's happening. Igneous extrusive, igneous extrusive. So that's the rhyolite, basalt, andesite, and dacite. And then the other types of copper are the tetrahydrite, tetrahedrite, and those ones are deeper, but it looks like any elevation, but the ones that are really plentiful are deeper. And those metamorphic ones are in these items here. So quartzite, slate, phyllite, schist, gneiss, and marble. And I apologize for my pronunciation. I am going to be terrible. All right, once again, with the malachite, it is something that's better, deeper, but that's marble, limestone, chalk, and dolomite. Okay, there's different stacking layers here, so that is really something I enjoy, that there's different stacked layers. Top layer will be here, so I'm really not going to do too much of the math, but I do find it helpful to understand that marble will likely be under limestone or chalk, so that's cool. Slate will be formed under shale, claystone, or conglomerate. Limestone, dolomite, and chalk have marble under it. Quartzite under chert. That's a big one for those of you who are trying to get your quartz, nether quartz, those items. Phyllite under slate. Also, gneiss and schist. So, anywho, we are on the hunt. I have absolutely no memory of what that was. So we're just going to keep prospecting off and on as we walk. Ooh, and I definitely want to get raspberry bushes. One nice thing with raspberry bushes is they do, well, the bushes, they put out these canes that if you have dirt underneath them, they would in fact grow another piece. So I'm gonna get these bushes because it did, I want I want them. I actually grew up with raspberry bushes next to my house and it was glorious. Okay, so one, a pheasant, nice. And I'm also seeing iron here. I personally don't, we have decent storage. We can grab it. So let's we'll mark this in our dealio. Um, that there is a hematite vein somewhere around here. Then if we actually did the ore, you can see that there's a very large sample. Very nice. That's great. Not very useful right now. So hematite, and I'm just gonna put small. I know I cannot spell that. I'm too lazy to fix it now. Will it bother me this entire time? Potentially. And I will grab these bushes because those are also fruit trees, snowberry trees. And night is descending. Ooh, and it looks like some more wild garlic. So this is great. Um, Once again, seed duplication is takes time. Oh, and we're definitely going to get some red apple. So since that's the case, I'm also going to make our first barrel. So barrels are large entities, so they will be difficult. And you see that I put it out here and it's filling with water. If I close it, it doesn't fill. But this is a helpful way to carry water. Um, and you can actually I also didn't quite mention that you might have seen it. The water in this. Oh, is that a ship? That's awesome. Wow. Okay. Water in this is finite, so you don't have infinite sources. So the barrel is going to be a big aspect of getting consistent water here. So let's also get these apple trees. Once again, we're looking for those angles, those branches, and we will have a beautiful orchard in the future. I just can't stand leaving like, oh, I do not like leaving floating things. That is native copper. That is awesome. And yeah, so we found native copper already. Okay. Um, Maybe we'll have to do a little outpost. Just gonna do a little walk here. I hate the dark in real world, so we'll just throw down some of these. Monsters 100% conform in here, so I do not want to be in there. We are not going for monster hunting. Not for a long while. I will be over prepared or running away. Those are my options. Okay, we have the prospecting tool. So, okay, so it looks like we're going to run into a mixture of copper and the hematite. Do I want to? Okay, I think, yeah, we will set up a little mining space here. I was planning on going a little further than that's the village right over there, if you were curious. Maybe we will make a little outpost. I think those are always fun to do. My actually, the irony is I made an outpost in Pilpo's server, and it ended up being the village. All right, so let's get another barrel. If I'm going to be mining here, I might as well get more barrels because water is a pain. This actually is pretty good because our respawn is set over there in the other location, so that'll be good. Your food nutrients are over like I can't remember the exact. I don't know if it's 25 or, but it is set to a certain percentage of meals it's calculated over. So I try to use some variety as I'm eating to get my nutrients. You can see I've been kind of holding off eating the fruit, even though I have it. The rain is loud. Okay, we got a ship on the surface. That is interesting. I hope excellent. I was worried that the loot crates were gone. Okay, wow. We got a good amount of iron there, some gold. Torches do have a set length time of only, gosh, what is it? A set length time of 3 days. So you can restart them by just clicking on them. But that is something now that we are going to do some mining that we're going to want to keep in mind. And what's our quests here? Okay, we're behind here because I didn't let the picks stay in my hands as much as it wanted me to. We got one torch. Okay, we are going to be looking for this large copper. So the way I like to do this is to find the edges where large copper turns into something else. Um, So hematite, large sample. Here's another piece. Remember when I said copper is not going to be giving us the most positives here? It is actually going to give us a lot of negatives because its reliability is not that strong. Okay, so we switch from large to medium here. So this is one edge of our dealio. So we're going to go in this direction until we see a medium copper. And it might be helpful to check out down there, but I do want to get a few more things going if that's the case. First up, what I'm going to want to do is get a pot, an unfired pot for cooking. It's going to be like the large dealio, but not. Oh dear, earthquake. Okay, I've never actually experienced the earthquake, so that's exciting. Yeah, that's terrifying. Terrifying. There is seismic activity in here and volcanoes. Hopefully, I'll put up like a warning, a shake warning, or a scare warning. That is scary. Oh, more. I don't like this. There's a config that you can turn off on in this in the settings that's been mentioned in the Discord a few times. So if you search for that, I'm gonna keep it. But oh, my heart, it goes. I got the unfired pot, and now I'm going to also want to get the unfired da 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 da. I was gonna say grill, but that's not where we're available yet. I'm gonna want to get some unfired bowls here. I can get 4 with this recipe, so that's the one I'm gonna do. Just some gentle earthquaking here. Not scared of that. Not scared of that at all. I'm so scared of that. That is terrifying noise. Truly diabolical. Thank you, whomever designed this mod. When do the earthquakes stop? Yeah, I'm not scared. You're scared. All right. Oh, that's hilarious. The large pot is only one dealio. Sorry, one corner of the pit kiln. So we are going to have one bowl that I'm not going to fire for the moment. There's a possibility I'm going to start a fire with this. So we are skipping all over this book because the other thing is one of the ways to make bread useful is going to be yeast. And the tricky thing with yeast is you need to, let's take a look at that recipe. You're going to use dried fruits and water. And that's when you first get your yeast starter. And we need to dry some fruits. So that's where we're going to want those fruit leaves, which definitely don't require that many. We're going to let's make a pile of these. And if it re-rains, the clock starts and this stuff could rot and it's always fun. So we got 12 minutes to get some dried peaches here. All right. I also need some more logs so I can go mining. Oh, there's a cat. A happy sounding cat, not an evil one. Pyrochlor. Okay, this is definitely a Greg Tech one. I'll just put actually, I'm going to put GT in the front of this because this feels very Greg Tech required. Looking at this, that's also why I tend to use a lot of, keep my prospector pick early game. We will find a lot of stuff. So it looks like the copper is actually underneath the beach a little bit. I don't know how long we're going to stay, and trees take a long time to form. And I am purposely just busting these by hand so I don't get the straw. Okay, it's going to take 6 days for trees to grow. So I would like some more trees. And that's what I'm going to do here. I know this is pretty overkill for setting up a mine area, but because we have the immersive storage spaces, I am aiming to have this stuff work for me while I figure out my mining. Because there's some stuff that just takes time to do, particularly growing trees. And then the other thing we're going to look at is bees. Bees are very much a time-consuming thing, but are so helpful later on. And I will travel with bees. I think I can travel with bees, so I'm going to do my best for it. So we need to make our first beehive here. The wooden beehive is the one we can make first, which just requires wood more than anything. So let's get our lumber and let's get our saw because we're going to need both of those. So we are going to get our bees started early because it's going to be very important for these. We need 2 to make the bee hive itself, and then we can fill it with 4. So I need to just make a thatch here. So all right, so with 4 pieces of straw, I can make my first thatch. I can make my wooden beehive here, which is great. And now my computer really wanted me to do more. With the wooden beehive, I am going to find a spot that already has a decent amount of flowers. Looks like here's a great spot. And you can see that I have 6 flowers around it. It's not enough. It's going to want more. It looks like I made an extra one. So I'm going to actually put 2 beehives there. I do love the fact that they require frames. It feels very authentic to what the world is like for bees. All right, so bees are a daily chance item based off of what is the flowers around it. So that is why we are looking for flowers. When we look at bees here in the index, beekeeping, you can see that after you have 60, the effects of flowers diminish, and it's a 5-block radius. So bluegrass, I don't believe counts. So we specifically want things that count as flowers. So foxglove, does this one count as flowers? We shall check. And bees have different traits, so it doesn't look like foxgloves does. I know the tulip looking one does. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the area we're going. Let's go hunt down some flower-specific things. There's different mutations or traits that flowers can have, and one of them that I think is most really valuable is going to be crop affinity. So before we even get crops, I'm really aiming to work on getting those. Okay, so we have enough flowers to start. So you can see that we have 11. This one doesn't count. Okay. Lily of the Valley, you're disappointed me. Okay, I probably shouldn't say that. It's kind of dark. Okay, so we got 11, 12. So poppies count. I just destroyed my poppy. 12, 13. So these blue ones count. They may be fixing those. I honestly don't know if anyone's told them that not all the flowers work. And by them, I mean that's the developer. So 17, 18, perfect. Crop affinity, the reason I like it is it means that I don't have to I don't have to mess with my trees as much. Like my plants, they will do my fertilizing for me. And that speaks to my soul as a person who is lazy. And I need to get more torches made. I've been meaning to do that, but I have not. We have not gotten to that far. Excellent. We did get another bucket of water here, so I can fill my jug. And you can see that it's 758. So my jug only holds 100 on those 100 millibuckets. So that's why these barrels are so helpful. And when it rains, it can be a really helpful item. All right, so we also have dried peaches, which is perfect. How long do they last? 6 months. Excellent. With the logs, you can hold shift and make a log pile. It'll hold 16. It's 4 logs of any type that can be there. So if you have a variety of wood, that is a great way to stack it. And not only immersive that I found, and other like higher up storage, like the storage drawers can actually hold things like logs. So you just want to be taking advantage of how you can store those. If we are going to go mining, let's actually get to make some soup. So our first soup, I believe I had mentioned soup last time, and I'm going to grab a water bucket. So with water buckets, you can see it's a lot of water that goes in those. Is it a whole bucket? I think it's 500. So I got my water bucket going. Let's look at our nutrients here to see what we really need. So we need fruit and protein. So we can put 5 things into our items. So we're going to make the worst meal known to man, in my humblest of opinions. I cannot imagine anyone would want a peach and mutton soup. Can those cook together? So it should bubble. Yep, so it's boiling. So it is making gross soup. And every soup, I believe, has 3 is 3 servings. All right, so while that's cooking up, let's start looking at getting to the other side of this vein. We found where it led to medium here, so we need to go in this direction. And one of the items I didn't want to do without torches is look here to see if we can visually spot a part of this ore. I'm seeing an ore. What type is it? Okay, tricalcium and apatite. And that pyrochlore. Okay, this is gonna hurt. Ah, all right, we don't have a lot of health, so we can't be submerged often. So that doesn't look like the vein we're looking for. It is dangerous to go swimming for some of those items, but I think it's nice to, I like to do it that way if I can, because swimming you actually move pretty fast in. And then it's switched to medium. Okay, so here's the other side. And now I'm just going to go in between to find the middle here. I'm going to go get my soup and check on my peaches. Okay, our soup here. Yep, we got 3 items here. We have a hearty soup now, and it has 5.6 protein. Oh my. 0.8 fruit and 33% saturation. So previously our saturation, bread was 5 and that had some prep, and I think mutton was much lower. So mutton was 10% because once again it cooked, so it had prep, and then peaches was 2. So this is going to be a good food for us. 6, 7, 8, 9, and then this is our middle. So now we just need to find the edges of that medium in these directions to find more. So that edge is here. Now we want to find it in the other direction, basically like triangulating where we're seeing the copper to try to dig down to the best chances for us. There's no guarantee that this is going to be perfect, but it's better than nothing. Okay, so 17. So 17 divided in half, that's, so drop down to 16, that's 8, and the 9th one will be the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're going to start digging here. And I'm going to go grab my other torches because I want them back. We are cheap right now. Cheap souls. All right, so we're going to dig a copper mine right here looking for some good copper. A large sample, just for your understanding with prospecting, it says there's a certain amount that if it's small, you're seeing, there's, maybe it's online, but a very large one has at least 80 or more blocks of copper around it. So by seeing a large sample, it's less than 80. So don't know how much less, but it's more than one less than 80. Oh my gosh, seagulls just screeching at us over there. So we are going to dig there. I'm going to need ladders. So let's grab this lumber, and I'm going to need mining supports. I did a whole video on mining supports if you do want to watch that to kind of talk you through what I know about the mining supports. I'm not perfect, but they can be a little bit tricky, but I don't think they're too bad. You just have to, in my opinion, give up on the idea of perfection with some of these things because you can't see through walls, or if you are, maybe you're not playing the same way. I'm going to need a shovel. Just kind of walking through to clear up some items so that I can dig more, I guess. All right, I like to do either a 3x3 or a 2x2. Since we're here, I'm going to go 2x2, I think. Not 2x2, a 1x3 is what I'm planning on starting this out at. We're already in raw andesite, which is going to take some time. I swear I didn't plan any of this, folks. We're on a seed that's just Cthulhamonster. I feel I swear I did not plan this. I was all set to dig to the ground. We were gonna go places for a while. All right. We have found it. That was ridiculous. All right, so we definitely have a surface flow of copper. Like, okay, that's thanks, copper. Just I was not expecting this. All right, so let's dig up copper and see how much we're getting. Okay, and oh, that's actually a good point right there. So one item we're seeing right here is this copper gravel, so copper depositing gravel. The pan that we made for penning gold, I said, but penning any ores really, is you're able to actually use these deposits in there. And there is since we have a saw, there's a thing called a slice that we can also use. One item we do need, looking at some of this stuff, is we are going to need our primitive anvil to start. And I'm just going to look at what the primitive anvil needs, because there's a certain type of rock. So the first rock, okay, so andesite will work. So this is actually something we can make our primitive, um, really speaking English well here. We can use this to make primitive anvils. So this is perfect. When you want a raw piece of rock, they do a really good description in the book on this, so I definitely recommend looking at their diagram. You want to make sure it has absolutely no support around any of its sides. I believe it's just on the 4 angles, and then you want to take the rock out from underneath it. If you have a mining support there, it won't fall, but if you do this, you'll see that it popped off, and we have our first raw andesite. So when I make my primitive anvil, I'm able to put this raw andesite down and use that. One thing you might have been seeing is you might be seeing that we're picking up mainly poor native copper here. We found a few normal ones, and the ones we had picked up, so this one's normal, and the difference is the millibuckets per each of these that we would have. I think we're pretty close to being done with this one. So a copper vein, but not a long-lasting one. All right, let's see what we got. So traces of native copper now. So there might be one in here. So I'm not too worried about continuing. I think this is our mining extravaganza. We have a good amount of copper from earlier, but that mine, which only had normal, didn't really give us that much. Like 6 things of copper plus whatever is going to be coming from our copper deposit. But it did give us the raw andesite, which I'm happy about. And we will take it. Now we know this is not a spot for our copper. So here's our ores. Looks like we've got 1 bucket of water here. So let's see about getting that water bucket here. And if I carry it here, can I carry more than 1 water bucket in my pockets? Learning new things here. This finite water thing definitely is a challenge that I'm ready to take on. All right, so I'm going to pack up camp here and then bring you back. All right, so I have everything packed up here. Once again, the vessel is on my back. I have 2 pieces of bread pulled out right now, which I think is fine. And we're back on the walk. I do want to go say hello to a deer with friendliness. Okay, some more clay. Nice. Clay is great. And more garlic. And some bark copper. Now it's a very large one. I didn't go anywhere. No. Oh boy. Oh. I don't want to stay. I want to go out in the world. All right. I was looking for a rock, just so you know, so I could get the garlic when I saw that copper. I want the garlic. Okay, so I need to get a deer skin, some more leather. That's important. I also need I'm going to mark this large native sample here for the future. Can't stand on the sea palms. Oh, oats. Excellent. We haven't had any grains yet, so this will be good to get. So with oats, you can see that we're actually getting oat here that we could put through a thresher to get items, or we need to thresh them manually here. And right now you can see that it expires in 4 months. If we thresh them, we will get 3 years. So you want to do that as soon as you're able to, because the longevity of it's completely different. So boars will fight back. We have my first death. Luckily, though, I still am not that far away from the village. I want a backpack and I need leather. And I was hopeful I could take on a boar, but I can't. I was like, a boar sounds like it could hurt me. And yeah, it can, unfortunately. All right, so there we go. We got this set back up. We have a gift because we died. Reward for death. Yeah, we have corral tombstones in here, so something interesting there. This definitely is not vengeance, but I did wound one of these boars. Please. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm a monster. Just wanted the rawhide so that I can make some leather. We'll make one. How much for my backpack? No, I've made them angry. That makes sense. I deserve it. I'm sorry. What is this thing? Running in the dark. We're nearing, I think we're actually probably have too much stuff once again for our first dealio here, for our second episode. And yeah, we got a river, so that's good. We got a large freshwater source. And I just want to know, is this oil? Oh my, so we actually have the raw oil fountains now. Okay. I shouldn't drink water near the oil. Looks like a swamp looking place. Oh my, that's a big swamp. I do not want to be stuck in the swamp. Okay, so we have some options here. I do want to stay going southeast, sorry. I am curious about this, maybe not the swamp. I don't see any crocodiles on the map. And that is one of my main reasons I am A-okay with just sliding right past some of the stuff. I do kind of like the idea of being on an island, but if it's a swamp island, I don't want that. And I really need jute, but I haven't seen any yet. I probably should look at the spawn timing of those. Now this is one swampy area. Acacia, okay. And the dry Fagramite here is also a really good one for your composting later on. So we'll grab a stack of those. I do like the acacia trees, I won't deny that. Some goats. I do like goats, but I actually need more like alpaca. Something that I can get wool from. So I can get through this night so I don't have to record at night or walk at night or explore at night. A lot of hatred towards the evening. And this isn't the worst swamp island. Little island outpost might not be a bad idea. We got some iron here, and I know I got copper nearby. It's semi-near some ores that we want to get. There's some areas that aren't completely covered in grossness. Okay, blueberry. Oh, waystone! Oh my golly gee! Yay! Okay. I'm so happy. I'm so happy there's a waystone. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. And jute! Oh my gosh, so jute, this is what jute is here. So jute is incredibly useful. I strongly recommend growing as much as you can early game. There's lots of different pieces to it. And barley? Okay, this actually, okay. Um, oh, and it looks like the island chain goes on. This might not be a bad spot then. Okay, so maybe a little island outpost to start. All right, yeah, I think let's do this as, let's name this our outpost and set up a little bit. I know we didn't go far at all. We'll definitely need to be exploring in the future, but yeah, I think this is enough to call it for the day. We got a little island outpost. We got fresh water on our island, I believe. Got right down here. So it's perfect. We got jute. We got rain falling on us. So loud. We got our first waystone. That is amazing. I'm so happy. Did it have to be right in front of my face to see it? Yes. But I think that was my sign right there. That this is... And we got some goats. We can be friends with goats. Goats aren't terrible. Is that another waystone? What? What? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yes, please. That is amazing. I don't even really know what to say about that. That is amazing. We got another waystone. Okay, perfect. Absolutely. I am so excited. I so want to game more. This is definitely more than enough for the episode. But yeah, well, my name is Cthulhamonster. Thank you for joining me for my second episode. My gosh, today has been a fun one. We have done our first mine. We depleted our first mine. It was not a good first mine. We found another spot for copper. We got some things to move forward. This is great. So yeah, and oh, we experienced our first earthquake. Those are terrifying, guys. ATM team, terrifying. Those are terrifying. But yeah, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. And I would love it if any of you want to follow along, share what your thoughts are. I think this is a great seed. I really like the idea of this little island outpost because we can put like docks coming off of here with our big ships because we do need to get to Killinite, but there's probably a few episodes before we're worried about Killinite. Yeah, so thank you for joining me. I really appreciate the large amount of support I saw in the first episode. And yeah, thank you so much. See you next time.